U.S. Coast Guard says the helicopter was traveling from Port O'Connor to the Calhoun County Port Lavaca Airport. This is Skyview 25 over the area near where the fatal crash happened.
Here's a map of the location. 702 Sanctuary Lakes Drive is where the helicopter crashed, next to a home at south of Port Lavaca near Seadrift and near the sanctuary at Costa Grande Development.
And 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick is following the story and has more.
That's right, Karina. Calhoun County Sheriff Bobby Vickery confirms 2 people were killed in this helicopter crash. Authorities have not released the names of the man and woman yet. This double fatal helicopter crash happened near Seadrift and Port O'Connor. It happened Monday night near the 700 block of Sanctuary Lake Drive. The U.S. Coast Guard says the helicopter was traveling from Port O'Connor to the Calhoun County Port Lavaca Airport. The DPS confirmed the helicopter crashed beside a home at the sanctuary at Costa Grande.
We have currently tentative ID on the pilot and a passenger. We will not be releasing those names at this time for respect out of the family to make sure notifications have been made. Everything at this time is still under preliminary investigation, so we have really not a whole lot of idea of what for sure took place. We do know that they left here approximately 9:30, 10 o'clock last night, didn't get off the ground very long before. Whether it be weather or anything else caused them to go down.
We've reached out to the FAA and the NTSB for any other information. For now, the crash remains under investigation. That development is an exclusive neighborhood. The helicopter went down near a home, and it's fortunate it did not crash into any of the homes. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn the names of the 2 people killed in the crash. Back to y'all.
Darius, thank you. Victoria police arrested a worker at Yamato restaurant in the 9100 block of North Navarro Street. The worker is accused of stabbing a 47-year-old co-worker. He was stabbed in his face but is expected to be okay. It happened today around 1:20 p.m. when police say 2 co-workers got into a fight. The person accused in the stabbing faces aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charges.
It's day 2 of a murder trial tied to the shooting death of a Victoria woman. On February 19, 2022, Tanasha Upton was driving a Ford Expedition in the 1100 block of Lova Drive after stopping at a stop sign. That's when she was fatally shot. Days later, police arrested a 17-year-old Victoria woman and 2 juveniles. They were all charged with murder. One of the juveniles pled guilty to manslaughter last week and will serve 20 years in prison. Tuesday, the remaining juvenile faced jury members and testimony from witnesses. The victim's children testified. They were in the vehicle at the time of the shooting. The trial continues Wednesday. A Goliad County Sheriff's Office member died Monday. Goliad County SO reports Operation Lone Star Task Force Commander John Davis died after he became ill soon after overseeing a multi-agency enforcement action in Wharton and Jackson counties. The 60-year-old Davis had a 40-year law enforcement career. He was selected by Goliad County Sheriff Roy Boyd to command the newly formed task force, which includes 22 agencies.
And in Mexico, Mexican authorities say 2 U.S. citizens missing since their violent abduction last week in Matamoros were found dead. 2 others were found alive. One of them is hurt. Now the survivors were found Tuesday. A relative said Monday the group traveled from South Carolina so one of them could receive an operation from a doctor in Matamoros. The surviving Americans were taken to the border near Brownsville. A convoy of ambulances and SUVs were escorted by Mexican security forces as they were taken to a Texas hospital for treatment. A body was found during the search for 2 13-year-old twin boys who went missing in Galveston. KTRX reports a child's body matching the description of one of the missing boys was found around 2 a.m. by a group of 4 people. They pulled the body to shore and called 911 authorities, then notified the boy's parents. But the search still continues for that second boy. And now let's take a look at the forecast with First Warn Storm Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. Now, it's a tricky situation to be stuck in a current like that. And Mac, I think you could give us some advice as our Chief Meteorologist as to what to do in that kind of situation.
Well, absolutely. The rip current is a phenomenon that we get along the coastal bend a lot. Now, what's happening is that the surf comes in and then it sort of winds back up and starts moving out. So some people are swimming toward the coast, but the water is pushing them out to sea. So you don't fight that current. What you do is you go left or you go right, and then you go around it, because otherwise you're just not going to get anywhere. All right, folks, our temperature is breaking a little bit. Not 87 like it was this afternoon. 78 right now in Victoria. We'll be talking about your 7-day forecast in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Mac, thank you. This brings us to your viewer poll. Scan that QR code on your screen to participate. How confident are you in your ability to maneuver through a rip current? You can choose from like an expert to you would not survive at all. And look at that little meter. It says most of us are saying will not survive. We want to keep on hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 10. Now, a group of women say Texas' abortion ban is putting their health at risk and are now suing the state. In a lawsuit filed this week, 5 women say the uncertainty surrounding medical emergency exemptions has caused them harm. One plaintiff says it took a year and a half of fertility treatments to get pregnant. However, when her water broke, she was told by her doctor her baby would not survive because of Texas abortion law. She says she became septic before she was finally able to receive abortion care.
We were told by multiple doctors that the loss of our daughter was inevitable. I asked what could be done to ensure the respectful passing of our baby and what could protect me from a deadly infection now that my body was unprotected and vulnerable. My healthcare team was anguished as they explained there was nothing they could do because of Texas's anti-abortion laws, the latest of which, by the way, had taken effect 2 days after my water broke.
The women, joined by 2 medical providers, want the court to clarify what abortion care can be performed when physicians decide there's a medical emergency that puts the mother at risk. A certain field in Victoria will soon be filled with American flags in order to show appreciation to those that help to keep our country free. This year marks the 15th anniversary of the Field of Honor in Victoria. Colonel Mike Petrash with the Field of Honor has seen the field grow each year. This year, the goal is to reach at least 2,000 flags, all to honor the military heroes, past and present, that help keep us safe.
So for the first year ever, Trey, we're going to post flags at night, and so we're going to go from 5 o'clock in the evening until about 8:30, and then we're going to have our field dedication about 8:30. 9 o'clock we'll have the dedication ceremony and the field lighting.
The Field of Honor dedication ceremony will take place on Saturday, May 6th at Parkway Church on John Stockbauer. The Warriors Weekend Field of Honor has many events planned for this year. Also, volunteers are needed in many areas. Visit warriorsweekend.org for more. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, the federal government now looking into Norfolk Southern after the latest Ohio train derailment.
Also ahead, a student loan company sues the Biden administration over the student loan repayment pause.
There are too many people in our community who don't have the everyday resources to sustain a regular, healthy lifestyle. Affectionate Arms Adult Daycare helps anyone over the age of 18 who has medical conditions with the simple things that we may take for granted. Join 25 News Now live on Friday, March 17th, as we collect donations and learn more about this organization. Let's come together and help keep people a priority in our community.
On February 2nd, 2023, at approximately 4:10 p.m., officers of the Victoria Police Department responded to a bank robbery at 7001 Northeast Acklands Parkway, a Prosperity Bank. The suspect was described as a black male, about 5'9", weighing 200 pounds. He was wearing a black hoodie, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. If you have any information about this robbery, call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 572-4200. All tips are anonymous. If you give information that leads to arrest or indictment, you could earn a cash reward.
We like to think Kia stands for keeping it awesome, and at Victory Kia, our staff has spent years being awesome themselves.
Hi, I'm Chris English with 15 years in the car business.
John Garcia, the Texas Car Plug, 15 years experience.
TJ Decker, 14 years experience.
Marissa Ferrier, 5 years.
Kia Caroline, 18 years, months. Remember, we've got the right cars and the right people to keep it awesome at Victory Kia.
Go faster on Optimum Internet with 99.9% reliability. Get 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month with no annual contract. And equipment is included for whole home Wi-Fi coverage. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide. Get award-winning 300 meg internet for $30 a month with Optimum Mobile for as low as $15 a month. Call 8669-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit your local store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
It's the stars of the new movie, 80 for Brady. There's so much talent, so it must be nice that you can call each other for work advice.
I don't call Jane for that. Just sex instructions.
I heard that you all compared surgeries.
I only have one joint left that's mine.
Jane and Lily have a scene in bed together.
She initiated the spoon.
And she felt so good.
Private lender SoFi suing the Biden administration over the pause on student loan payments. It's an effort to end the freeze on federal student loan payments that has been in place since March 2020. SoFi argues the last extension in November is unlawful because it was linked to the debt cancellation and not pandemic-related economic hardship. The federal government will conduct a special investigation into Norfolk Southern following two major Ohio train derailments.
Now, after this weekend's train derailment, Norfolk Southern says it is taking steps to make itself safer.
For Norfolk Southern, it was like deja vu all over again. On Saturday, one of the company's trains derailed in Springfield, Ohio.
I started recording and you could see the train like get off into gravel, and then it started collapsing and banging up.
There were no injuries reported in Saturday's accident, and the track in that area is reopened with no risk to nearby residents, according to local officials.
There were 4 tanker cars, but they were not carrying hazardous materials, and they did not carry hazardous materials prior to the derailment.
But the Norfolk Southern derailment last month in East Palestine, Ohio, did have hazardous materials, and the National Transportation Safety Board is taking a closer look.
We will look at their management practices, their policies. We'll also look at safety culture. That's an important part of this.
Norfolk Southern says it's addressing this issue with a 6-point plan focused on boosting safety, including the enhancement of the hot-bearing detectors, which can trigger an alarm if a potential failure or high temperatures are detected.
We're cooperating with the NTSB, we're cooperating with the local, state, federal resources to make sure that we investigate them fully, understand what could be done better, and make Norfolk Southern an even safer railroad.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The United Nations says people around the world are living longer. Some of the reasons people are living longer include global progress in assuring access to health care, sanitation, and education, and the ongoing fight against worldwide hunger. Global life expectancy for both men and women back in 1950 was just 46 years old. As of last year, it's improved to 71 years old, and it could rise globally to 77 years old by 2050.
Alrighty, grab your cell phone and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls, get the latest news, weather, and sports, and learn all about our ongoing contest. You can also submit news tips, videos, and photos all right there on our app. Here's Mac.
Well, thank you very much, folks. Obviously, the warm weather is the big story because it's not even springtime yet. And look at that. We had a high today of 87 degrees. That compares to a seasonal high, 30-year average of about 73. So, yeah, you could say it's warmer than normal. It's going to stay like that for a couple of days, but there is a little cool front on the horizon. And we'll be talking more about that coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stop letting big business take your customers away? Phase 3 Digital is your #1 digital marketing resource to keep your customers shopping with you. With an office right here in the Crossroads and a team of support across the nation, we can help you wherever your business is in the online journey. From building a site to developing e-commerce capabilities to growing your customer base, we will drive results. It is time to take the next step in growing your business with Phase 3 Digital. Are you ready to take your customers back? Give us a call or visit us online to get started.
I'm Charles Fisher of Fisher's Auto Sales. When you make a big purchase, doing your homework is very important. Invest some time finding the right vehicle at the right dealership. You want a dealership that takes pride in the vehicles they sell and offers quality, not quantity, for their customers' hard-earned money. It's a good idea to buy from someone that offers service after the sale and takes care of their customers, like Fisher's Auto Sales. Our family has been taking care of Crossroads families for 20 years now, and we plan on being here another 20 years too.
You want to have purpose, to unlock your full potential. Imagine a career that fits you. With the Pathways at Victoria College, you can take steps towards a high-paying career that fits you and your interests. Or save money by completing courses you need before transferring to a university to earn a bachelor's degree. No matter where you came from or where you are now, Victoria College will take you where you want to be. The world needs you. Are you ready? Victoria College. Enroll today.
At Ventura's Tamales, we wake up early every morning to bring you fresh quality artisan food made with the same touch as your grandmother would at home. From corn to masa, masa to tamale, then steamer to plate, we utilize the freshest ingredients to ensure flavor with every bite. So what are you waiting for? Dine-in, drive-thru, pick-up, or curbside. Artisan quality tamales at Ventura's Tamales in Victoria. View our menu online at venturastamales.com. Unwrap the flavor.
There was a dispute between us.
A dispute about what?
Who was living at the property?
Kicked out over a landlord's confusion.
You had not met Travis before they moved in.
As far as I know, Judge, I did meet Travis before they moved in, but I don't believe that's Travis.
And it was never too late to ask.
I asked to find out who that was, and she complained that it was 10 o'clock at night.
Why did you call at 10 o'clock at night?
I didn't know who it was that was moving into the house.
Next, Judge Judy.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist McLovey Perez. My friends call me Mac, but as we get to know each other, you'll hopefully be joining us here every evening to find out what's going on with the weather. Weather is not normal for this time of year. It's, still just barely getting into March. Spring hasn't officially begun, and it feels like summertime out there already. Taking a live look at sundown over there in Cuero ISD. A little bit of cloud cover right there, but what you'll feel is a lot of humidity, and that humidity is why the atmosphere is going to cool a little bit and give us another round of that overnight cloud cover and maybe a little fog by morning. These temperatures have knocked down about almost 10 degrees because, as I mentioned, our high temperature today was 87. Not exactly feeling like springtime. Feels more like, I don't know, August or something like that. This afternoon, while we're doing fine, we don't have any rain opportunity here. We do have some storms possible way up here in North Texas, so anywhere from about Dallas down to about San Angelo, and that's it. And that is just scattered thunderstorms possible, but it's not very severe, and that's sort of good because they don't need any more of that stuff. For the next couple days, we continue pretty much stuck in this weather pattern. Strong southerly winds pumping up that Gulf moisture, keeping us on the humid side. A couple of little fronts coming through. The first one sort of drifts over North Texas, but it really doesn't get this far south, although it, it'll get close, maybe along the I-10 corridor. Maybe it'll stop at Buc-ee's and, get some barbecue or something like that. Other than that, we're waiting for the West Coast. There is another storm out there that may have something to do with us. Notice how summertime is already in full swing down south, not necessarily up north. 37 in Chicago right now, 33 in Denver, and on the West Coast, there's another storm coming in to the western states. Now, you've probably heard the big story. They had record snowfall, and the snow was low enough to where it's stuck in the mountain as snow. Well, this next one's going to be coming from the west, therefore it's going to be much more moist, and so the snow is going to melt and become rapid runoff. You'll be watching the network news over the next couple of days, and California will be flooding away, and zip codes will be moving really bad for the next couple of days. There's the storm I'm talking about. It is moving ashore. For us, we've got this little area of low pressure. That's, of course, giving us that strong southerly wind, keeps us on the humid side. Next couple of days, there's the first tail end of that front. and then we'll watch and wait to see if that arrives here, but it won't be until about Monday. Well, taking a look at your marine forecast, there you see your high tides and your low tides. Of course, fishermen, you know that by afternoon it's going to peak up to about 15 miles an hour in the afternoon hours, and that's what makes it tough. So let's take a look at your forecast. We're looking for tomorrow a warm, windy day with a high temperature of mid-80s, staying like that right on through the weekend for those of you that are getting ready for spring break. But the front, with a little luck, will come through here on Monday. That is your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody, go to the QR code, scan it with your phone, download crossroadstoday.com, and you can take us wherever you want to go. That's your forecast. We'll toss it back to Karina.
Thanks, Matt. Sports Director Junior Perez is out tonight, so today we go to sports reporter Zach Brown.
Thank you, Karina. One local team amongst the winningest in Texas high school football history. Coming up in sports.
This is Ford Truck Month, Texas. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight, including Ford F-150 and the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger. So get into Ford Truck Month, Texas, and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock. Drive Ford F-150 with 0.9% for 60 months, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus complimentary maintenance.
T-Mobile covers 99% of people in America. So when we say we have your town covered, we mean it.
Where I live is a rural area, and the coverage has been awesome.
And great coverage is just the beginning. Families and small businesses can save 20% versus AT&T.
The savings we get allows us to do more things as a family. We're a one-income military family. Saving every month really does help us.
Plus, with our T-Mobile Price Lock, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan. Switch today.
For months, we've been saying that Fred Loya can save you more money on your car insurance. But just how much more? In recent months, people who switched from Geico and Progressive to Fred Loya Insurance have saved over $1,500 a year. State Farm customers who switched to Fred Loya saved over $1,600 a year. Allstate customers saved over $1,100 a year. That's a combined savings of over $240,000 a year. So start paying less. Call or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save.
I always tip 0% in all circumstances. If that reward system wasn't there, you would have significantly worse service. Tipping is optional, right? It's optional. It is optional.
Do you go on dates to
Yeah,
restaurants?
I don't tip.
It would be a deal breaker for me.
That's fine. I don't want to date you.
That's okay. I'm good.
Wouldn't you rather a system where that's not even a possibility in the first place?
I want to tell you why I hugely disagree with what you just said. Next, Dr. Phil.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
The Sherry Show just won an NAACP Image Award. It was literally like a monsoon in Los Angeles. Probably could have used a few submarines. Wednesday, we're live.
Good evening, Crossroads. El Campo head coach and athletic director Chad Royal has already announced he is leaving the school district, and today it was announced that he will be replacing former NFL quarterback John Kitna as the next head coach at Burleson, which is just outside of Fort Worth. In a message to KULP Radio, he says he's moving to be closer to his family and grandchildren in Gunter. A list from Dave Campbell's Texas Football has the most winningest programs in Texas high school football history. Coming in at number 7 on that list with an almost 72% winning percentage are the Refugio Bobcats, who just came off yet another stellar season, making it all the way to the state championship game where they lost, but have so many young players returning, all under the head coaching of one of the gutsiest coaches out there, Jason Herring. He took over the Bobcats in 2007. All he's done is gather 212 wins and only 21 losses. Lots of money being thrown around today in the NFL, starting with the Baltimore Ravens. They have placed a non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. The non-exclusive part meaning he can still negotiate with other teams, but the Ravens have the rights to match any offer made to him. If they choose not to, they will receive 2 first-round picks. Deshaun Watson, for reference, cost the Browns 3 first-rounders, so the Ravens will likely opt to do what's necessary to hold on to their franchise quarterback. Dallas Cowboy foe, the New York Giants, making headlines today as well. They have signed quarterback Daniel Jones to a 4-year deal worth $160 million, just ahead of the franchise tag deadline. The deal also includes an additional $35 million in incentives, so potentially worth $195 million. Jones coming off the best year of his career. They placed the franchise tag on its running back Saquon Barkley instead. For the second week in a row, the UHV men's golf team has a tournament victory. The Jags shot a 2-day score of 1 over in the Shriner Shootout. They beat out Concordia University and Shriner University by 10 strokes. Carson Kaler, who was just named RRAC Golfer of the Week, finished tied for 4th at 1 over after a final round 72. Next week, they travel to Nevada for the battle at the Prem, held at the Prem Valley Golf Club. Here in the Crossroads, it's a baseball and softball heavy evening. The Victoria West Warriors travel to Corpus Christi Moody, taking on the Moody Trojans. This is a non-district game. Warriors so far this year, 3-6-1, currently tied at 0 in the 3rd inning. The Cuero Gobblers play host to the El Campo Ricebirds later this evening. The Gobblers had a strong showing this weekend and are 9-3 on the year. El Campo having a great year as well. They are 8-2 on their season. Over on the softball side of things, the Hallettsville Brahmas fresh off its state title, kicking off district play on the road in Palacios. The Lady Brahmas 16-2 and the Sharks 6-5 on the year. Hallettsville swept district play last year, trying to keep that going. Not enough time to list everyone playing. We'll have more later tonight, but dawn, the Titans announced they will wear their Oilers throwbacks this year against the Texans.
Oh, gosh. They have to do it against the Texans, huh? Maybe throw those throwbacks out. We'll see.
Alrighty. Well, we're back in a moment. A Washington, D.C. university finds a new way to improve its community garden.
I see a story. What kind of movie are we gonna make?
Do you ever find yourself overwhelmed by emotion?
And cut.
Where do you say we come in for my close-up now?
The Oscars, live, Sunday on ABC.
Tired of your typical clock-in, clock-out job? You need a rewarding career in an entertaining environment that you'll enjoy. Take yourself out of the box and come to the Victoria Television Group. We have an active, fun, creative atmosphere that can help you succeed and keep those everyday work blues away. Come join our energetic and outgoing sales team. Renew your career and learn to use skills you didn't know you had. Call us 361-575-2500 or email opportunity@victoriatelevision.com for more information.
Have a legal question that you don't have the answer to? Crossroads Law is here to help. The esteemed lawyers of the Cole, Easley & Skiba Law Firm are here to answer them. Submit your questions to crossroadstoday.com. This is a free service where you can find practical answers about real-life situations you might have encountered. Crossroads Law is a service of the Victoria Television Group and the law firm of Cole, Easley & Skiba, advocates of trial by jury.
Have you had those moments where you fall asleep, maybe you're in class or in a meeting, and then you jolt awake?
Yes.
Has that happened here?
I mean, not on the air.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Next live, Idris Elba and Padma Lakshmi.
I've seen you jerk awake a couple of times.
Plus, the countdown has begun. Live returns to the Oscar stage for Live's After Oscar show.
Finally tonight, students at George Washington University hired 10 sheep to mow the grass at their community garden for some natural lawn care. The sheep ate the weeds and fertilized the garden in preparation for the spring planting season. The produce grown in the garden will be donated to a local nonprofit. Last season, the garden produced about 600 pounds of food donated to help feed people experiencing homelessness in Washington, D.C. And the folks at GW should be not feeling sheepish, really, to really brag about that. That's very, very helpful.
It's good to know college students are actually learning something practical.
That's right. That's right. It's sheer luck that they are. Now, we're going to have really nice weather for the rest of this week, it sounds.
Well, you know, if you're ready for summertime, and if you're ready, you know, to get the boat and do all the grilling and you walk around in flip-flops and shorts, you're ready, because we are just sort of jumping forward. Mid-80s all the way through the weekend, and so it's going to be a great weekend. Very similar to what we had today, the morning clouds, the afternoon wind, and a little sun in the afternoon hours. No significant problems. It's just a little bit too early for me. Now, on Monday, there's a frontal system coming through. We'll keep our fingers crossed to see if it actually knocks the temperature down into the 70s. Back to you.
Thank you, Mac. Thanks for joining us. Streaming 24/7 Crossroads Today Plus.
And we hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.